What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast from the new digs, the white wall. I haven't unpacked anything, but I am moved in.
Yeah, let's
And
start that out. Shout out to you.
we're
Moving.
moving.
You hate it. You hate
I
it.
do hate moving. We hired movers though, and it is next level. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if you make more than working at like McDonald's, fucking hire movers. It's game over, dude. I don't care how much they charge you, it's worth it.
That's gonna be a
It's
good selling point to a baby girl too. Be like, yo, Travis
you know,
advertised you to do it. He doesn't want you to spend any extra money.
nah, if you have any sort of money, and if you're over 30, you just got to do it. It's your health will thank you. Everything will thank you. But,
Yeah.
why
And I'm
did
actually
she not blind me like I told her to?
I'm
Like
actually
blind me, and she
here.
turned it where it's pointing down at the table.
I'm in the living room because even though baby girl says she didn't tell me to come to the living room to record so she could start doing stuff in the studio. Oh, I didn't get anything for that. I guess she actually put the headphones on. That's great of her to do and be so considerate. But yeah, so Coop will be here tomorrow if you're hearing it right now. Coop will be landing here on Thursday, so we're turning that into his room slash I'm gonna have probably like this much room, probably about 4 feet to put an L-shaped
Nice.
desk in there so I can still have a backdrop. Yeah, I'm excited for it. And we went and spent way too much money today. Fuck, we need to save the receipts too.
Yeah, we're still working on my stuff. It's
But
we
yeah,
moved in
man.
Wednesday, so or
Yeah,
Thursday or whatever.
spent a lot of money, got some dope stuff um for his room, but gonna be a long night, and I'm excited, man. We had a really good basketball game tonight. It stunk. Pretty much turned into the even though what Chuck's dumbass thinks Middleton's Batman, but it pretty much turned into the sidekicks having to try to step up for the team, and Atlanta ended up coming out the better team. But that was ended up being a good game. Right before Giannis had that dirty hyperextension on his knee, he had a dirty block on Clint Capella and then a monster slam at the other end. Just a beautiful sequence. And then I think like 2 possessions later, did that hyperextension trying to get a rebound. But dude, it was a great day, great 2 days of sports. Great. I shouldn't say for last night. It was kind of stupid, but yeah, we'll talk about that. The game was good. The basketball was fun. It was like old school basketball,
Yeah.
except for the refs keeping the whistles on their fingers nowadays. They stay in their mouths.
Can we put some respect on Lou Williams' name too, man? People still don't think that this man could be a starter
And
if he didn't want to be.
Cam Reddish stepped the
Coming
fuck
out
up
off the
too.
bench.
Big time minutes.
But yeah, Lou comes off the bench because he wants to help out the team, not because he can't start, not because he can't play. And then, of course, Bogey was doing Bogey things. But yeah, the Hawks, even the series, we're going to kind of quickly move through basketball in a sense because we do want to actually talk about some other stuff. We've been talking about basketball every single week. And now that it's down to just a couple games, we can move on. But yeah, the Hawks tied the series. So it's now 2-2. We now have injuries looming over all of the series and all of this playoffs. But more so than just the injuries, we also are about to bring up the refs. And these refs, man, I talk about it. And when you're a fan of one of the teams, it always comes across as just this like bitter guy. But even in this series, like it's rough to see that it just doesn't seem like the refs are letting people play basketball anymore. You mentioned it to me earlier in text, like how we used to say, I can't wait for the playoffs because they let the people play. And it's just not happening no more. There's no more playing basketball.
Yeah, it's insane. And usually, like, and we still kind of see it every once in a while, but the gimme fouls, like, we didn't call on this end, we're not going to give it to you on this end. But the amount of players that start bitching and kind of force these refs' hand and to be like, all right, I mean, you asked for it. And then it's just bleep, 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 bleep. And it just keeps coming. Like, I think not a lot has to do with the players just bitching and complaining. I mean,
Oh, there we go.
it's not the whole team like it was with the Lakers. The Lakers' whole team pulls their hands up and their hands out and starts doing all this dumb shit. But there's always at least one or two players on each team. Every other possession, they're going up to the refs, and it's not the what we're used to, them going up and talking and being like, why wasn't it called here? What could I have done? Like, what could I have done for that you not to call that foul on me? It's I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Why didn't you call that? Why didn't you call that? It's one of those two. It's not what could I have done, and it's not that dialogue anymore. I don't think coming from the players. So the refs are like, all right, you want me to start calling it? I'm gonna call fucking everything then. And it's just at this postseason for sure. It has been such a just whistle fest, and it even in the game tonight, when it was already put away, it seemed like the refs were doing everything they could just to slow the game down and not let it finish. The Suns game the other night, the last 2 minutes lasted, I think, 43 minutes of real time, mostly due to the reviews and Ty Lue doing that whole I don't remember who was on the court
All right.
shit. But it's becoming overwhelming the amount of whistles that are being blown and team fouls, and you don't even really see in the playoffs right now teams with a foul to give at the end of quarters, and
Man, they're
it's
in the bonus
ridiculous.
with like 7 minutes left usually. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy what's going on right now. It's really diminishing the game, especially in a time where you really need to let these guys play because it's not even the superstars right now because a lot of them are banged up or not even in.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like let's try to zoom out. I mean, we hate talking about the refs for too much, but when we zoom out and we look at the game, we'll start with this the Hawks Bucks series. There's one thing the refs can't stop, and that is the ball going in the basket. And the Hawks seem to be on fire. Bogdanovich was just lighting these dudes up from three. I think he was 6 for 11 at one point, and then he missed a couple in a row. But um, and it's not their usual suspects. I mean, obviously Trey wasn't there tonight. Kevin Herter was not playing well at all, and it was the other guys that really stepped up. Lou Williams, like I talked about, Cam Reddish, Bogey, Danilo. They were all hitting threes and making it happen. This is most definitely
And
the most dangerous Hawks.
Clint looked like the Houston Clint. Like
Mm,
it was an all around good team effort. And even though them refs kept trying to slow them down and kept trying to bring because Lou's best in that transition,
yeah,
going through and picking a spot. And it seems like Cam's really good. Spot up shooter, just get the ball, bang bang. On
right.
the run, he had like two or three back to back shots where he's just getting the ball on the run and just pulling it and splashing. So that team seems to be really good at the transition. So the rest were like, all right, bet. They touched your hip. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, we don't give a fuck. Just let us play. They're like, nope, you wanted that call 5 possessions ago, so now we're calling everything.
Right.
Like,
And we saw the bigger thing in my brain is we saw just how important Giannis is. I mean, the
yeah,
guy wins back-to-back MVPs. He does his thing, and everybody still says, well, he's not that great. People are saying he's Robin to Chris Middleton's Batman and all this. Dude twisted his knee, and it was a wrap. It was, what, like 8 point
it
game or
was an
something when he did
8 point.
that.
They were staying
And
between 8 and 4. I think they got it to 8 and 4, 8 and 10. I think they got it to within four a couple minutes before that happened, and then the Hawks went down. And yeah, it's
yeah, as
unfortunate.
soon
But
as
then
Giannis went down, it was
it went
game
down
over.
20 quick, 20
Yeah.
real quick, real fucking quick. No,
Yeah.
did you see
I,
the Shaq? No, if you book.
I love to see that because people throw shade at players like Giannis that get shut down in the playoffs, but it's like, come on, dude. I
And
just, uh,
he's
oh,
been
this year he's
everywhere.
been looking good.
He's been everywhere, dude.
So this throws a real wrench in this playoff series. It's 2-2 now, and both teams have won on the road. Both teams have injured players. Trey, I think, has to come back soon. Giannis will have to see some more tests. What do you think's going on in this series now? I mean, it could easily be the Hawks now to
Right
lose.
now, yeah. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, the way the Hawks just really went to work on them, it's the Hawks to lose. Like they've
Mm,
just shown that they can still put 80 in the basket, not having to get into the paint. And that's where Milwaukee's going to stop you. That's where they want to stop you. And they showed Chris Middleton doesn't mean shit to us on the perimeter. It just
right.
doesn't mean anything. Drew isn't able to fold Trey like they thought they were going to be able to. And I was like, this is the Hawks to lose. They could win 5, 6 games. It could really happen. I think I
Right.
said that last week. Um, but yeah, it's still it's going to go 7. I feel like for sure they're just going to trade blows until the 7th game, but it's still in my eyes the Hawks to lose at this point right now with Giannis with a huge question mark over if he comes back. If he does, what is he going to be like? And are they really going to risk Giannis his future? They're already giving his little brother like what $10 million a year just for him
Right.
not to leave. So do they really want to risk their future with him over maybe coming back a game or two too soon? I would just hold him and hope you can get to a game 7.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to risk him because Coach Bud is at the end of his
Oh
reign. If they
yeah,
lose again, he's out. This ownership group, if they lose again, they're probably out. And everybody that's anybody is going to say, Giannis, I don't care if you can walk, you're playing. And hopefully Giannis steps up or the medical team steps up. And if it's really an ACL, they don't just call it some sort of sprain or hyperextension or something like that. So hopefully.
yeah. I don't think it was. He didn't. I don't know. It looked like it was just a hyperextension. The way he was able to put weight on it afterwards. I mean, you can
Right.
still kind of walk on those ACLs and MCLs if you don't. But he was able to like. He even told them, like, hold on, let me see. And he kind of walked, and he was like, okay, I kind of got it, and then kind of hobbled off. You're not immediately doing that after an ACL or an MCL. But in the way he didn't want to put any weight on it right when it happened,
Mm-hmm.
and went down and saying fuck and all this, I was like, oh no. And then they played it back and how it just kind of went bow-legged for a second and
Yeah.
came back. I was like, if it didn't go too far, we're pretty fucking good right now. He's
Yeah,
just gonna be
but you
sore
don't
for a
want to
week or
keep
two.
playing on it. Yeah, for sure. So maybe they'll hold them till game 7. I can definitely see it going game 7. And I think it's still the Bucks to lose personally. I think having those 2 home games is going to help them a lot because I can't imagine that Bogey's going to shoot as well. Lou's going to do Lou things, but Cam's not going to shoot as well. Like, and their guys should shoot better. The Brook Lopez's and the George Hills and those guys. Wait, George Hill's not on their team anymore, is he? But they'll shoot better, and I just think it's theirs to lose until they
Did you
lose it.
see Chuck's dumbass talking about uh who was it? Jeff Teague. Like talking
Mm-mm.
about Jeff Teague on Atlanta. And they're like, well, he couldn't do that because he's actually on the Bucks. And Shaq started laughing. He was like, stupid. You're stupid.
One guy I liked, and his stats don't prove it, but I was watching him play, and he just needs to stop shooting threes. But Bobby Portis looked pretty good in place of Giannis.
I think the reason he was shooting all them threes is because of all
They were
the
down 20.
no, all the fame he's been getting for his tweets about Richmond.
Oh
And
yeah,
yeah, somebody said you look like
he does
what
look
an
like that
actor
guy.
looks like. He was like, you
Yeah.
look like what an actor looks like in a basketball movie. So he tweeted a picture of the center saying Richmond.
But yeah, he was playing pretty well until he would shoot the ball from 3. That was just something dumb that he was doing. But if he has to replace Giannis,
And he's able to
I
get
think
to his
he's looking pretty
spots
good.
too in the
Yeah,
paint. So
yeah, he can
yeah,
play. He was good on Chicago too. Like he was never a problem. So I think they still got it. I don't know. I still don't know who I want to be playing in the finals, but let's talk about that. We both predicted that the other series would be over by now. You said Suns in 4. I said Suns in 5. Well, now hopefully it's Suns in 6. They're up
a lot
3-2. They're
rest.
heading back to the Clippers. The big market team wins again. And it could be another ref series. We could talk a lot about that again, but it's up in the air now. Pandemic P brought out playoff P for one game, but
Yeah.
do you think he can drop 43 times in a row and pull us out of or pull them out of there?
He can, yeah, but I don't think Booker's gonna continue the slump he has. I'm not gonna
This
echo the
man's taking
refs.
off the mask. He better be taking off the
Yeah,
mask.
I'm not gonna echo the refs. What I said about the Hawks, it's been the same, if not a little bit more annoying. So on the Sun side of things, just because I have a little bit of fanhood in it, and
Right.
also the calls are really ticky tack, especially after they reviewed the CP3 call. Everything
Yeah.
after that was just fucking bullshit, dude. And but and a lot of after that, Book's shots were bricks.
Mm.
CP3 was shooting
He
like
shot an air ball at one point, and I
yeah,
was like,
he was,
"What
he
is
was
he
shooting
doing?"
like he shot like 30% maybe after
Bridges wasn't
he
shooting
fell
that
on his
well.
ass and he wasn't playing good defense at all.
Yeah.
Um, so a lot of that was on the Suns. That's why they weren't really able to get it, and when they did get it, they weren't able to maintain. Obviously, they ended up losing.
Right.
But
We
it was
finally
just
came back and took our first lead like at the beginning of the fourth quarter and then just got blown out after that. But
yeah. So that's more so on the Suns not able to hold it and letting what's his name Marcus or Markeith, whichever one's on,
Marcus Morris, I think this.
just go the fuck off and continue to go off in that game.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's more so on the Suns. Are we gonna let them do it? No, I hope not. But that would have
I
been
don't
nice
even
to be able to.
think
How nice would that have been to be able to seal it
I
in
know.
fucking Phoenix, dude?
That would have been awesome. And I hope we don't seal it in Phoenix now because that means heading to game 7. But I don't mind that Paul George scored 41. It was really, like you said, Morris. Morris went off on us. We were down like 17 points. It was like 25-7 or something right at the beginning of the game. And it was all Marcus Morris. He had like 17 points in 9 minutes or some shit. So we just got to stop that.
I'm like 7 of 7 shooting, dude.
Yeah, we have to give the ball back to DeAndre Ayton. He's been the guy for the first 12 games of the playoffs, and then we stopped going to him for 2 games in a row. We escaped one of them where he had like 22 rebounds, just had to do it all himself.
And
But this game he didn't, and we got to go to him more. I don't know why we're not.
yeah, one thing I would do want to point out, Monty needs to be quicker with them timeouts, man. He loves to hold on to them things for a very long fucking time. At the beginning of the game, after that 4th possession, whenever the Clippers are able to go on that, because we just weren't hitting shit.
Right. Yeah.
But when they're able to go on that 4th transition and end up with Booker on Morris and him just get his 3rd shot in a row to get 6 of their 8 points to start the game and they're up 8-2, you have to call a timeout and be like, whoever the fuck, I don't give a fuck who it is, but whoever the fuck is not named Chris Paul or Devin Booker has to pick up this motherfucker.
Put a forearm into him or something.
Yeah,
do
like
anything.
you cannot allow Book to end up on this dude for the rest of the fucking quarter. You have to call that timeout, but no, he didn't. And they were just able to go wide the fuck open and ended up like 22-7 at one point.
I mean, if this was 90s basketball, if this was the Chicago during their double three-peat, Jay Crowder would have thrown a forearm into Marcus Morris's face when he was coming down the basket and changed it a lot. But obviously we can't be a proponent of that. But if we want to start Dario Saric next game, I bet you Marcus Morris won't.
It was every fucking possession. He was getting on that fucking low block with Devin Booker every fucking time.
We need to just blow up a screen or something. Just run him over. Take an offensive foul. Do something. Just get over there and just wreck that dude.
I really hope that wasn't the game plan going into it. Like in transition, you're picking up Morris because that's stupid.
Yeah, that'll change real quick. But I mean, I think they just need to get Ayton involved. Like he needs
Start
to be.
Cam. Start Cam at the 4, bro.
Cam looked good, bro. He was the only guy that looked good last game.
Yeah.
So
why the fuck not?
I don't see why not. I mean, Crowder didn't do shit. And Saric is just getting faded away. I don't think Monty likes Saric. So he's falling apart. Plus Johnson, like you said, is taking minutes. He's earning his minutes. So no, I think
5 for 6 from the 3. I think.
Yeah,
I'm not even looking up.
I think Ayton just needs to get a 2020 again and just take it to town. But Book needs to lose the mask. He'll be back, and I can't imagine Paul George is going to do his thing. Is there any word on Kawhi? I mean, it looks like he's done, right? They're just trying to be secretive.
If I see him watch a game down and actually standing up and fun guy celebrating,
right.
Like just standing up and clapping, being able to sit and stand.
Yeah, he looks done. He ain't doing nothing.
Maybe, but when we see him, he's literally sitting there. He's not getting up. I guarantee you, he hates having to get up to go to the bathroom. They probably close a curtain or something so they can help him stand.
Right.
He's wearing jeans every night, so you probably don't see the fucking
big bulky thing.
Yeah. So he's done, dude.
That's what I thought too. But they always talk about like he might play. He might be back next game.
But now LA's like, where the fuck are you gonna go now, bro? You here for another year.
All right. I don't know. That we'll talk about that. He might not be here for another year. Who knows? But do you still think it's the Suns? I said it before. I mean, I highly doubt LA can beat us 3 games in a row, even with ref help. If they would have won game 2, then maybe, but we got past the refs in game 2. So now we have a real shot. And I'm still confident. Eddie texted me that he's worried about us, but I was like, not worried about us. We just got to play our game.
Yeah, tell them to worry about Pittsburgh and hockey.
Right. The road has not been a problem for us or anyone in this playoffs. The road has just it doesn't seem like home court advantage is a real thing anymore,
Oh, not right now,
which
not at
is
all. It might come back in a year or two, but these guys right now are so yoked off of the fans. It doesn't matter where the
mhm.
fuck it is.
They
Like
just want to hear cheering.
they're probably so even when they hear the boo, they're probably so yoked off of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mess them up the way it used to. It's not like,
Mm.
oh God. It's probably like, oh yeah,
Yeah, it's
they
not a
go,
different
they're
vibe
back.
necessarily of
Yeah,
home
it's not like
total.
an intimidation thing. It has to just juice everybody. It would for me. I wouldn't give a
Mhm.
damn where I am. Just to be able to hear those fans again and not just hearing the guys clapping and the ball
Right.
squeak. Being able to hear my sneakers squeak,
Right.
that's just annoying. That's why. That's why with these fans right now. Shout out to Atlanta, but Phoenix last night kind of get a little stagnant in the fans. When
Mhm.
I felt like they should have been going, they waited a good 3 or 4 minutes, and then they'll start kind of clapping as they bring it up after the third miss of the Clippers. Like, bro, y'all haven't been able to do this for a long time in the playoffs. For one,
Right.
I've Western Conference and fucking you tell me, and in general in
93, I think.
games and a long ass time in a year or
Yeah.
so. So why not just stand up the whole fucking 48 minutes,
I
two
wouldn't
hours
be
of real
sitting
time?
down at all.
Fuck no. Hell no. So that was kind of, but Atlanta showed out. They were
Yeah.
fucking going nuts.
Theirs has been a longer wait than ours though.
Yeah.
Although they have a championship, so or quote unquote have a championship. But yeah, so it's still I think it's the Suns and the Bucks, but you think it's the Suns and the Hawks, and all that matters is the Suns, and that's what we hope happens. That's what I hope happens. And whatever. We'll talk about that more next week. All the both of the series will be over, and we can talk about the NBA finals. But let's shift gears because we've talked about the basketball for literally a month straight. There are some things going on in baseball, man, and I don't know if you guys have started watching yet. It's still pre All Star break. It's still all that, but the games are just filled with umpires checking pitchers for finger stick and stuff like this. This is huge, man. I mean, so far it hasn't quote unquote slowed down the game. They check every pitcher when they come in from the bullpen. But did you see Romo pull his pants off?
Yeah.
That's
That was
great.
the first day that they started doing it.
Yep.
Um, and who else was it? Was it Bauer that kind of started doing? He untucked. No, no. Max
Scherzer, yeah.
Scherzer, Max
Scherzer was like
Scherzer.
this,
Yeah, and he
pulled
like
everything
undid his
off.
belt, took his
Yeah.
belt off. They're like, no, we don't need you to do that. And but Joe Girardi asked for that. But
Right.
and then did you see? I don't know the guy's name. I'm trying my hardest to go through at least one episode with all the brain recollect that I have and not using that. I don't need the stats. We're not talking basketball too
Right.
much. The
Right.
Red Sox are kicking ass. Yankees still haven't beat us. That's beautiful. But I don't know who he plays for. He looked like an older cat. But
The Seattle guy?
was it
Oh no,
Seattle?
he's the guy that actually got suspended, I think, the
Yeah,
Seattle
but
guy.
his stitching was
Oh
up.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if they saw like because they put it in a trash bag and
Right.
wrapped it up and set it to the side. I don't know if they were able to see that there was any sticky stuff in there or not. But he got thrown out of the game because his stitching was up. That's what they saw from the booth. I don't know anything that came out of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this shit's crazy. And we've talked about before this happened multiple times in the last couple months how insane it is that these pitchers are throwing the speeds they are and getting the
Hmm.
velocity they are on these balls. And
And the
it's
spin
just
rate on these things and
yeah, and to
everything.
find out there's a new stickum, it's weird.
And so only one guy's been caught so far, and even he hasn't been proven anything. It could just be rosin, whatever. But even though only one guy's been caught so far, the spin rate on curveballs and stuff across the board is way lower. I'm talking like 60 to 70 rotations a minute or whatever lower than what it was before they came out with this crackdown. So, do you think it's one of those things where it's just like everyone was doing it,
Oh yeah.
nobody really cared, and now that they're cracking down, it drops, but now the ball's getting cranked out of the park and stuff again. So,
Oh
uh,
yeah. For sure. It was something that people were able to come on and as these managers and trainers get traded and not traded,
mm-hmm.
but they get put
They
on
go to new
different
teams
teams
and stuff.
and all
Yeah.
this stuff. Yeah, all this stuff happens and it's just another way to get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not really here for that. Um, like Max Scherzer said, he was trying to get as much moisture as he could. That's why he was rubbing his head.
Right.
I can see that. I used to like to lick my fingertips and stuff.
Romo licks his fingers all the time.
Make
Sergio
sure my
Romo.
fingertips, yeah, even right now, they're a lot more like sticky right now. I didn't like the rest of my hand, so I don't think I would ever go through maybe the sideburns or something, maybe a little bit right there. But
Right.
even that's suspicious as fuck right
Yep.
now to do. But I just like my fingertips to be moist to where whenever I went off, I didn't really throw any breaking balls ever. But just to be able to get that extra torque on it, anything like these pitchers say, anything helps. So
Right.
if I'm able to have anything else besides my sweat, my perspiration to help me, I'd
Yep.
be fucking down for it. And who knows how long it's been going on.
Yeah, but you see, like, even though this crackdown's happened and it looks like the ball is slowing back down, the velocity's coming down, the spin rate's coming down, you still have the guys like Trevor Bauer, Max Scherzer, Jacob DeGrom. These guys are still striking out everybody. So like the best of the best are still the best of the best. And I think it just makes that gap wider, which is the way it should be. The
Yeah.
best pitchers should be good because they're the best pitchers, not they shouldn't be right in front of all the people that are just cheating to get ahead. So
Yeah, that's why the later 2000s baseball, I feel like, was one of the better ages of baseball. Um, I'd say not this is gonna sound like a Red Sox thing, but from like 2000 to like 2015, I think was a really good era for baseball. And the fact, and until we got Rob Manfred's bitch ass in there,
right.
but just the fact that there wasn't any of that bullshit going on, and it was a lot of great baseball played, and it was just pure baseball. In the last 5-6 years, it's just been bullshit after bullshit after bullshit, and then you end up having to cap it off your fucking commissioner calling it a hunk of metal. So
Right.
yeah, it's been a crazy era in baseball, and they wonder all the time why more people watch hockey now.
Yeah, definitely. And baseball has turned into a playoffs only, even for me. I'm a Dodgers fan. We've won 14 straight, blah blah blah, all that stuff, and we are the defending champs. I still only watch the playoffs. I'm like, I don't care about the regular season. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just hopefully they can find a way to bring in excitement. I don't really know how they're gonna do it. They tried to juice the balls, the pitchers got mad. They brought the balls back down, the hitters got mad. And now they're doing this with the checks and the pitchers are getting mad again. So we'll see. I don't know what they're gonna do, but hopefully they can bring some sort of excitement. Maybe baseball's just dying and they have to. Did you see that banana ball thing? There's I don't even know what it is, but there's this like banana ball that's like named after a guy named like Banana or something. I don't know. But it's baseball, but it has all these crazy ass rules. And like the games can only go 2 hours. So like if the game hits 2 hours in the fifth inning, it's like boom, whoever's winning wins. But there's like all these weird rules where um, if a guy like hits a home run or something, you can throw the ball back in from the stands, and if you throw it to like first, second, third, and home before he gets home, then you like get him out or something. Like there was all these like weird ass rules, and I was
Fuck,
like,
where's this at?
I saw it on like a dumb article. It was like, is banana ball the answer to baseball's problems? I was like, no, but this is
It's
hilarious.
awesome.
And if it goes into extra innings, so if it goes into extra innings, it's just a pitcher. I think this is cool. It's just a pitcher and a hitter. So it's like a tiebreaker. If he gets the batter out, then the batter's out and it goes to the next guy. But if the batter hits it, it's just the pitcher. He has to run and get the ball wherever the batter hit it. And if he beats the batter to home plate, then like he's out.
No way. That's awesome.
So he has to sprint to go get the ball and try to sprint it back to home before the guy gets around.
That's
And
amazing.
so that would be hilarious. I think that would be freaking awesome. But anyways, that's
That's
sport for a different day.
absolutely amazing.
But do something like that. Do something fun. Because baseball's slow, but there are some good topics for baseball, and one of which is the MVP races, and they're both literally both dominated by pitchers. You have the normal like pitching MVP, and that's Jacob DeGrom, who's just throwing records
Disgusting.
out of the books. He's unbelievable. As long as he stays healthy, he's going to smash every pitching record that there is. And then there's the other type of pitcher. There's Shohei Ohtani. This man is the MLB The Show 21 type of pitcher.
Yeah.
He leads the league in home runs, and
27
he's also one of the best pitchers. He's the first. I don't know if you saw this, but just last night, I guess he's the first AL pitcher to ever DH for himself, which is weird that that's the first. I swear they would have done that before, but last night was the first game ever where the NL team had a DH and the AL team did not, because it was a home game in Angel Stadium, and the NL team obviously chose to DH, and the AL team had Shohei, and they were like, "No, we're gonna pitch the hitter." So I just thought that was kind of cool, or hit the pitcher. But he's unbelievable. This man, when we saw him coming in, we thought he was like gonna be the guy, and then he was never the guy, and we thought he was a bust, and we thought he was gonna have to move to just hitting because his Tommy John and all of their stuff, and now he's the guy again.
Yeah.
Like, he's exciting, at least if baseball's not.
Yeah, it's so cool to see with his lack of vocabulary with English and all that stuff. Even more so, it seems like these Dominican guys, the more they come in, they know English a lot more than they did 20 years ago. But he knows not a lot whatsoever. Right. So just him running out to go to his position, to go talk to the ump, and him just kind of smile, going back like, yeah, I have no idea what he just said.
Yeah.
And when all the bullshit went on like last week with the bickering and all this stuff, and it was like 2-3 weeks ago when we talked about it, the catcher kind of defended him, and he's just sitting there smiling like, yeah, this is awesome. Like, his pure joy in playing baseball and what he's able to do for the game at the same time right now is awesome. It couldn't happen to a better person. And of course, he's on a fuck ass team.
Yeah, right. And with Mike Trout being injured, it's a wrap again for this team. No matter how good the players are, they're gonna have like 5 of the 6 last MVPs, not counting Mookie Betts, obviously, in the AL, and still never make the playoffs. But real quick, let's talk about the guy. I don't know how much you've been watching non-Red Sox stuff, because I haven't really been paying too much to non-Dodger stuff. But what about the man who might get screwed out of the MVP? I say screwed because Shohei Ohtani is doing what Shohei Ohtani does, but Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Oh, dude,
might win the Triple Crown and not even win the MVP. This is a ridiculous story, man. And he's all the same as his dad, if not better, which is amazing.
He's definitely better, and I hope he's able to sustain his athleticism, I guess you would say. He's more athletic than his dad by a lot.
Yeah.
His dad was athletic for, I'd say, 2 years with the Expos, and then was it the Expos he was with?
Yeah.
And then just totally got fat and and became a hitting disaster.
Yeah, but Junior was already fat, but he's still athletic.
He's athletic as shit. And so what he's able to do in the field at the same time, definitely he's exceeding his dad. And if he's able to keep that path, the ceiling's the roof for him as well. And he could really be one of the greats, be a Ken Griffey Jr. type player for the coming up generation. He's incredible. But yeah, it is insane to see. But that's got to be fuel for him, man. He still has another a good 3 months, 2 months now to get it in, really, with the numbers and stuff, and really show like, hey, yeah, this guy can pitch and shit too, but I'm the guy when I'm in the field, and I'm the guy in the batter's box, just like him. He's just a pitcher.
Yeah, because if he wins the Triple Crown and a Gold Glove, it's going to be a huge battle between him and Shohei. Right now, I think he's 1 home run behind Shohei, and he's like 13 points behind in the batting average or something, but he's winning in the RBIs. And he should get a Gold Glove. Like you said, out in the field, he does what he's doing. So all I've watched from him is highlights, but they're great. And I hope he brings Toronto back on the map. I mean, they were always a good team and just never got it done. And then went down in the cellar with Tampa and all those other guys. Not that you want to see Toronto do any good, but
Give a shit. We're killing it this year. I don't give a shit.
the Dodgers are about to turn it on. We're about to sweep the Giants, get back in first place, and
We have Rafi.
start
He's
to
killing
win.
it. Thank you again for our two guys. You can have Mook and Price.
Well, Mook has been doing his
I'll
thing.
take Kiki and Verdugo.
Yeah, we knew that Verdugo was good,
I
and
said
we knew
Kiki.
I ignored it.
Do you love?
We had to give up Verdugo to get something. We knew that he was the bargaining chip because we wanted to keep Gavin Lux, which again was the right choice for us as well, because Gavin Lux is amazing, and we didn't really need Verdugo because that position is too deep for us already. So we were fine giving him up to keep Gavin Lux, and it's like I said, it's working for us. The Giants had their moment in the sun for the first half of the season, but we're gonna start getting our injuries back, and we're gonna start cranking it up, and I'm not worried. Unless Trevor Bauer goes down for sexual assault or whatever the hell he's doing. I saw that headline pop up again, and I'm like, geez, dude, just stay. Just you're Trevor Bauer, dude. Just ask people nicely, and they'll sleep with you. But whatever. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know. I'm glad we don't have to worry about any dumb shit like that anymore. We just have a bunch of young, non-American guys who want to play the game of baseball and don't give a shit about anything else. They'll take their $100 fucking food card a day and go eat and go back to their fucking apartment paid for by the club and
Right.
worry about the fucking training and the baseball games. I'm loving it right now for the Red Sox. It was a horrible last couple of years, but it's coming back and fruition tenfold. So I'm excited for it. Like Rafael Devers is fucking incredible right now in that 4-hole. So it's fun.
We're ready to get our revenge on you guys. So make sure you keep it up. Get to the
If you guys better make sure you keep up and get us there and meet us there.
We're fine.
We just have I don't know. There's a couple other Sox out there that are trying to run around.
But they're on your side, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about them. I don't even know who's good on our side. It's just the Giants, and I'm not worried about them in the slightest. Who else is good in the NL? It's like us, the Padres, and the Giants, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, the Mets?
No, the next highest team is the Brewers, and they're 3.5 games back. It's literally the Giants, the Dodgers, and the Padres for the entire National League, and then the Brewers.
So what are the Mets doing?
They're 7 games back.
Holy shit.
Of the Giants, at least. But yeah, we're 1.5 games back of the Giants. We'll win again tomorrow to sweep them, and then we'll be right there.
What's the AL standings? I was about to look.
It's you guys, the Astros, and then the White Sox, and
dude, the Astros have been on a fucking tear the last couple of weeks, dude.
It's all right.
I think they went on a 10-0 streak or some shit, 11-0, 12-0.
Well, their run differential is 130. They're killing it. But you guys want your revenge on them as well, I'm sure. So you're ready for that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they smoked us in the last series, but.
Do you want David Price back?
No.
All right.
No, I'm fine. Bro, in my game, Nathan Eovaldi's like a fucking relief pitcher, and he gets like an inning and a half, and he's like, what the fuck is going on with this game? But at least he's still on the Red Sox. Him and Chris Sale are still there.
Nice.
Nobody else is on the team that I recognize. But
yeah, we have Mookie still, and we have Aaron Judge for some reason, and it's a bunch of people I don't recognize.
We're not even going to make the playoffs in mine this year.
I'm about to be in the playoffs again. We're trying to defend a ring, just like the real Dodgers.
So are we, but we're not going to make the playoffs.
True. Yeah, well, you got to at least be on the championship winning team. I had to go win the fucking MVP.
Yeah, so I got the pennant MVP. So did you. But I also got the World Series MVP.
Yeah, you got to actually play in the World Series. I had to go watch from my couch, not get a ring, I guess, because it didn't show up in my stats that like I have a World Series championship or anything. Oh. So I didn't even get a ring for winning the MVP and then the pennant MVP and all that.
That's so
that was kind of annoying. But anyways, I wanted to give some shout outs because we didn't really pull up our stats or our sheets or anything. I don't really have the names. But there were 2 world records broken in the Olympic trials just this past month. One was in the shot put. I think his name was Ryan Krauser. and then one was the girls in the 200-meter hurdles. I think no 400-meter hurdles, and I forget her name, but she just killed it and got sub 20 seconds. So I guess it was the 200-meter hurdles. Got sub 20 seconds and just crushed it.
Hell yeah.
So it looks like America's going to be climbing. The team is made. The NBA team's made, by the way. I don't know if you saw it. I might have sent you a picture. I sent Eddie a picture.
Yeah,
They're going to be playing small ball. The only two centers they brought were Bam and Draymond, unless you count Kevin Love as a center. So they're going to be playing small ball. When I looked at it, it looked like my starting lineup that I drew up was Dame, Book, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, and Bam Adebayo, which I'd put that starting lineup against anybody, but then the depth kind of falls off when you're relying on Drew Holiday as your backup point guard. When you have Zach LaVine, which I know Zach had a great year, but Zach LaVine's not the best in the world. Chris Middleton, I don't care how good he is not the best in the world. And so we'll see. We'll see how the depth works out against some of those better teams. But that starting lineup can run up the score on pretty much anybody.
We're not gonna win gold. I don't think it's gonna open up the doors for 4 years from now to where Steph,
when they all come back,
James and KD are like, all right, guys, we really have to we really didn't fucking win gold. We have to win gold.
Just like they do every single time. Like the Dream Team did it, the Redeem Team did it. They for whatever reason give up on the Olympics, lose
quarantine
gold.
Team.
They lose gold and then they'll bounce back, and all the best players will be there, and we'll never drop a game by like 40 points. But shout out to all the people that made the team. We can circle back to them at the end. But man, it's huge. I watched pretty much every single day of this Olympic trials, and it was really fun to watch.
Anything else from the Olympic trials? I have one thing else from the Olympic trials.
I don't think so. Just I wanted to shout out those 2 world records.
So like we said, we don't want to bring up our phones. We've been doing really fucking good without them. But this girl, Simone Biles, the gymnast girl, 4 years ago, this girl was down and out. She was like supposed to be really, really good back in the day. She had her own mental shit going on, and just really her own life and shit wasn't really the best. She had a cloud over her, and this was really out of it as a gymnast. Well, Simone Biles invited her. I'm saying her name right?
Simone, yeah.
So because I always chop them up. So she invited her to move from Washington to Texas to stay with her and at a gym and train at a gym that she owned, and just a safe place for her. And before they started on their skills and stuff, when she moved in with her, they just worried about her being confident and getting her mental back and becoming like a happy person again and really enjoying life and stuff. And now she was one of the people, along with Simone, that made it through the Olympic trials and is going to be representing America in the Olympics. And it's just insane how you always hear about people, oh, when people make it, they don't ever do anything. Like so much you see people always try to go back and help and bring people up and lift people up to experience what they're able to experience. And it's awesome to see it in such a celebrity and somebody who's world renowned, like one of going to go down as probably the greatest Olympian, American Olympian, already the best American gymnast, but one of the best American Olympians of all time, if not the best, by the end of this here Olympics coming up, to go and just do that and take time out of her probably strenuous schedule to worry about somebody else, and first and foremost their mental stability and their happiness with their life is amazing to hear.
For sure. So I'm really excited. We got another month before that happens, but Team USA is going to be pretty stacked. I think swimming will win a lot. Gymnastics will win a lot. And I think the track and field has a chance to actually win some big stuff. So I'm excited. We should get the medal count.
Yeah. And how about skateboarding, bro?
I didn't see any of that, but
yeah, well, there's 2 guys from Palm Beach, or no, 1 guy from Palm Beach that's going to be in the
surfing's there. Our surfing guys look really good. I'm excited about our surfing guys, but I don't know how they're going to do Olympic surfing, but it's still fun. So yeah, all these cool events.
Especially in Tokyo, is there like gnarly waves?
Yeah, there's waves in Japan. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'm excited to watch that. We'll talk about that more when it comes back around, but obviously go USA. But the last thing I wanted to talk about unless we have other stuff at the end, the Euro 2020s are here, and they're in the semifinals now. And obviously this is soccer. Nobody really cares about soccer, but these quarterfinal matchups the round of 16 matchups were amazing. If you guys haven't started watching yet, you should probably start watching. These games are getting down to where it's just the best people. And there were two teams that scored in extra time to force extra time, like overtime. And both of those teams knocked out a big team. They knocked out France. One of the teams knocked out France. And then one of the teams knocked out Croatia. And I mean, it was Spain knocking out Croatia, but whatever. But that's two big teams down. And I mean, the matchups are here. It's Belgium and Italy on one side. And then it's just a bunch of kind of no-name people. Swiss is still in it. Denmark's still in it. Ukraine is still in it. I think there's a chance for somebody
How
new to
about
win
how
the Euros.
Switzerland stayed in it, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been. I haven't really been watching. I have the highlights come up on my phone, and yeah, it's been crazy. Usually, you see one team's highlights a couple times a day. Then more the Spain's, the Germany's, shit like that. But it's been every single game. I'm getting notifications on with crazy highlights. The own goal from 50 yards out.
Right.
Ridiculous shit to still.
A bunch of amazing saves, some PK saves,
bro,
some just like ridiculous stuff. So Germany's already out. France is already out. There's a lot of big name teams already out. Either Belgium or Italy will be out before the semifinals. Now it's probably still going to end up being Spain or Belgium that wins the whole thing, but maybe, just maybe Denmark, which is the team that had that guy that collapsed, they are still pushing. They're still trying. That would be amazing if they pulled this thing out and somehow won.
Yeah, that'd be incredible. That would be absolutely incredible.
So keep watching this weekend. They play Saturday, by the way. Keep watching. It's really fun. It's getting down to the wire. This is the best of the best. I mean, obviously Brazil's good. Argentina's good. Nobody in the U.S. sector is any good. But the European teams are the best when it comes down to the real world rankings. It's really just the world, all the European teams, and then Brazil. So you get all the best teams right before the World Cup, and you get to see how good really everybody is. So my money's still on Belgium, though. They're too good.
Yeah, they are.
All right, what else you got?
Not much, man. I like that thermos.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge. Oh, is that good? Torreta?
No, it's from like Target or some shit. But yeah,
bro, you got that Torreta, bro?
It works really well, and it keeps it really cold. I can keep it in my car, like, and the outside will be like hot to the touch, like where you can barely touch it, but the inside will be cold, dude. It's crazy.
Nice.
Like, not even kidding. Like, it's really cool.
Who needs a Yeti?
So shout out to Takea from Target. So go get you some.
Torreta. Yeah, Takea is better than Torreta.
But yeah, so basketball's popping. Go Suns.
Go Suns. Go Sox.
We're gonna get out of here. Go Suns. Go Sox. But once again, shout out to everybody in the Olympics. Sil said it last week, and he said it great. Just continue to chase your dreams. We talked about Garrett Scantling, who gave up or was going to give up after 4 years ago. You talked about the girl that Simone Biles helped out that was going to give up 4 years ago. There was a girl in track that finished third, qualified for the Olympics, and it was only because the girl in front of her tripped over a hurdle. The last hurdle she tripped, so the one girl finished third. And then she talked about how she had depression after finishing fourth 4 years ago. And to think like, man, she almost finished fourth again, but she just kept pushed all the way to the end. The last hurdle on a girl that was easily going to beat her, which sucks for that girl. But this girl just kept pushing. So you see stories like this all over, and the Olympics are a huge time for that. So just a shout out to those guys, and a shout out to everyone chasing their dreams. Like Sil said last week, like we've said for probably a month now, continue to chase your dreams. You don't know what's going to happen. That girl probably looked up, saw herself in fourth place, and could have just broke down and gave up, but just kept pushing. And luck was on her side that day, or somebody was on her side, and she was able to push through. So just keep pushing. It doesn't matter what the circumstances around you are. You just keep pushing, And if you keep doing right things will come back to you in the end. And no Boston, but as always, be a stud, not a Boston scrub.